Hello boys and girls, it's Mrs. DeYoung here, and I wanted to share with you all one of my other hobbies and passions, and that is baking. So, I love to make art, I also love to bake, and I wanted to show you how the process is kind of similar, okay? So in art, we have our elements of art. Those are kind of like our ingredients that make up a great artwork. And in baking, we have our ingredients to make up a great recipe, and the end product is going to be gingerbread. Okay, so we're going to put in different food ingredients into the bowl, just like in art we put in different elements of art. Okay, so the recipe that I'm following today is something that I got online, but I've used this one before and I really like it. Sometimes you kind of have to try out a few recipes to see the one that you like the best, or you have to change it up a little bit and make it your own. Just like in art, sometimes we have to change things a little bit differently in the process to make it personal to you. Okay, so today we are going to take a small bowl and we are going to put together our flour, which I have here, 3 cups, baking powder, baking soda. Okay, so I have, actually this is the baking powder and this is the baking soda, and these two things are called leavening agents. Okay, so we're actually going to put in the baking soda and the baking flour, and it's going to cause a chemical reaction in our mixture, and this is going to be what's going to make the dough rise. Okay, so it's not going to stay like flat like a pancake. It's going to rise just a little bit, so it's more like a cookie. Okay, that's very important in the recipe. So after that, I'm going to mix in my salt. Okay, ginger, which I have just ground ginger, but I wanted to show you all, this is what ginger looks like. Okay, fresh ginger, it's a root. So we are going to use the kind from the store that's already ground up, but this is the fresh ginger. And then we're going to add in cinnamon and cloves. Okay, so those are our spices. And the cloves are, they're like a real bitter and strong tasting. And the cinnamon is a little bit sweeter. So those are going to go in there together with our ginger. Okay, so I have all of those things already mixed up, measured out into this little bowl. So I'm just going to add it in here. These spices are what's going to give the gingerbread that really good flavor. Okay? All right. So I'm going to just mix this mixture together up a little bit. And this is a mixture. Okay? And after that, it says in a large bowl, it says beat butter, brown sugar, egg on medium speed. Okay, so I'm going to put in my butter. And remember, boys and girls, you always want to wash your hands good before you start baking. And then I'm going to put in my brown sugar, which is here. Okay. Brown sugar has a darker color to it. And then it says to add an egg. I always crack my egg in another bowl before I add it, just in case it gets any shells in there. See, I got, just a little shell. That way it doesn't get into, mess up my recipe. Okay, so I'm gonna add this. And I'm going to put that on medium speed for 2 minutes. If you don't have a mixer like this, you can do it by hand. And if you look in there, that's called creaming the mixture. mix it up until it's nice and creamy. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna gradually stir in the dry ingredients until blended and smooth, okay? So you wanna add these in spoonful by spoonful because you'll see what's gonna happen is all the flour is gonna come out of the bowl. So we're gonna turn that down just a little bit. And I'm gonna slowly add in our dry ingredients. Turn it off actually. Put about half in there. And before I add the rest, I'm gonna put in our key ingredient here, which is molasses. Okay, molasses is derived from sugar cane or sugar beets, okay, the process. And it smells, it's very thick, and it smells almost like black licorice. It's kind of hard to define the smell of the molasses, but the best thing I could compare it to would be like a thick syrup that almost tastes like black licorice, okay? And we need, it says a half a cup, I think. 1/2 cup molasses. See how that's thick and it's very strong. Molasses has a lot of iron in it, so sometimes people will take that in the morning if they need iron. And I'm gonna pour that in. It's a really thick, sticky syrup. That smells really good, really strong. And that comes from refining the sugar cane or the sugar beet. Okay, so I have in my molasses, and now I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So I have my vanilla extract here, and I'm gonna add in 2 teaspoons. And I'm going to continue mixing. So now it's starting to smell really good. I can smell the molasses and all those spices. And the color of the dough is changing. So I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to add in the rest of my dry ingredients. We don't want to mix it too much, okay? Just as long as all the ingredients stick together and they're the same color. So I'm going to stop it there. And now we have our dough for our gingerbread. So now at this time, boys and girls, what I'm going to do is scoop this all out, put it in wax paper, and put it in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. And then we'll come back and we'll roll it out. Okay, so I got my dough out of the refrigerator. It has been in there for about 2 hours. And I just prepped my workspace with a little bit of flour. This is going to prevent the dough from sticking, and make sure that you wash your surface really good before you get started. This is called a rolling pin. Sometimes we also use these when we're making artwork out of clay, okay? So a similar tool. And I'm gonna roll this out until it's even. And it's about the thickness of a pancake. Okay, and because I put that flour down, it's not sticking to my rolling pin. If it starts to stick like that and tear, that means that you don't have enough flour, okay? So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your gingerbread cookie cutter, which we have used in class with the clay before, and you're going to Start on the edge. You don't want to start in the middle because you want to get it cut out as many as you can. Start on the edge, kind of scoot it around a little bit so you make sure that it's good and cut out. And you're going to lay that on your cookie sheet. And you want to leave just a little bit of space in between each one of your ginger people. Okay, so let's cut out one more. Looks like I can fit one more on there. Couple more. And my oven is on 375. And these are going to go into the oven for 7 minutes, okay? So I have my tray of gingerbread people. I'm going to put it in the oven. And after 7 minutes, you're going to take it out of the oven. And that's what comes out. And when they cool, you're going to take them off the tray and you're going to let them cool on a plate. And now you're ready to decorate your gingerbread people.